Welcome. Day 2 of the Droppp Arcade, and we're going to get into it. It's exciting. Excited to be here and talk all things Droppp. So a lot of things to catch up on. What's happened on throughout day 1 and day 2. We'll go over some basics of the Droppp Arcade, and we will get into some thoughts and all the stuff like we did last night. We're really going to crunch some numbers and do that. What's up, Johnny Knight? Welcome in, Charles. Poppin', Missouri. Poppin' in the Show Me State. Welcome, guys. We're going to talk all things Droppp Arcade. Where are we at? So yesterday, we know we burned about 500,000, about 500,000 NFTs. Where are we at today? That's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out what the top wallets are. We're going to find out what my position was. Yesterday, when I got in, I was 93 out of the however many had been participating. I was at 93. So we'll see where I am today. Am I still in the top 333? I had 17,808 points. I think I burned a couple last night for the cause to show you guys how it works. And so I don't know exactly how many I have, but yes, Droppp is spelled with 3 P's. Dropp.io is how you get to that website. And that will get you to the Droppp Arcade and get you to the marketplace, everything you need. If you don't have a wallet, get one set up, start playing in the game. We're going to see pricing. We're going to go over some of the pricing for a lot of the stuff that's been that's now selling, like the royalties, the series coins, legendaries, grails. We're going to check market pricing on those to see where we're at and just kind of go over all of it. So you guys can see I was blessed with an early release of the Droppp Monster. I got it in my hard stack here. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, that's what we're all hunting, is that right there. Freddie Funko as the Droppp Monster, and we'll see who's going to get it. Only the top 333 are going to get it. I also have an update. I had a conversation today I made some statements yesterday that I thought, I kind of questioned some things, and I got very good clarification on that. And so I'm excited to share that with you. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes as well. So you're like Fluffy now, getting the redemption pops early. Facts. That's right. It's no Transformers Grail, but it is right here on my desk. So stir up the controversy. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen, show you guys Droppp Arcade. Here it is. This is what we're looking at. Again, the basics of the Droppp Arcade. I won't do this every day, but as we get in here, collect, convert, compete. So you got a leaderboard. We spent the last lifetime collecting. Now we're converting all our NFTs to points, and we're climbing the leaderboard so we can get into the top 333 so that we can obtain one of these here, right here. Freddie Funko is Droppp Monster. 333 pieces. That's exciting. And this is season 1. So there's 2 more seasons, and there's 2 more colors of this Droppp Monster. Here's the point values. If you turn in a mythic, you get 2,000 points. Grail's worth 1,000. Royalties worth 500. Legendary 250. Series coins are worth 200. And then down the list, as you can see, you can convert post-redemption digital pop collections, stickers, non-redemption digital pop collections like bonus digital pop promo, etc. And then what you can't convert are like packs, crates, redemption tokens, the Droppp Monsters, anything that hasn't been redeemed yet. You can't collect those. And then the ultimate value to those who don't compete in burning the NFTs to get the points is that all the people that are, it's reducing the number of those NFTs in population, which makes them more rare, which makes them more valuable. So scarcity is the key, and you can track that on the leaderboard as we go through that. So let's jump over to the leaderboard and take a look at it. So here's all the stats. I need to be checking chat. I'm sorry. Well, I Googled it. I can't find anything. Okay. You don't have to Google it. It's dropp.io. And so here is the leaderboard, all the information that you need, season rank for, well, I'll show you now here. My position on the leaderboard is 360. I have dropped out of the top 333, with my measly 17,824 points. As we talked about last night, that was about $60 worth of NFTs at the time, valued at that time. And that's what I was willing to do to see where it would play. And this is where it's got me. It's 360. In order to be in the top 333, I need to get to 18,846. So I do have some ideas. I'm going to talk about those here shortly. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk about that here shortly. I do have a couple of ideas that might be fun to do and see if anybody's interested. But so total number of players right now is 1,852 players. Items converted, 848,000 NFTs have now been burned, making anything that's been burned more rare and therefore driving up value. We're going to look into some of the value of some of this stuff as well here pretty quick. So points converted, 39,330,448. And then and then the 333rd place score is 18,846, as you can see right here. So there's still 82 days left, 7 hours, 53 minutes, and 18 seconds. Plenty of time to get your stuff in there. Plenty of time to go out, collect more, buy more, and convert for your points so that you stay on that top of that leaderboard. And then we're going to go back up to the top here to show retry.dp is still in first place with the 300,016 points. So that is the number one wallet right now. If we check that wallet, it still has some NFTs in it, still stuff that they could climb the leaderboard a little further if they needed to, but that is there. And then this is everything that they burned on this side. Now, here's what I like. So you can go through, we did this last night where you can kind of go through, you see the rankings, see the season score, how many points are available left in their Droppp wallet, in this case, 0, and what they converted. I like that you can see all of that because it gives you an indication of what has been burned and what hasn't. But we're going to show you even more how to drill that down a little bit to see specifically what cards have been burned. So if I go back to my wallet here, let's say I go in and I am looking at this. Well, I'll come back to that one. Let's go down here and do royalties. So if I click on royalties and I pull up all the royalties I have, if I click on those, you'll see that this royalty, Freddie Funko as Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, is selling lowest listed price is $9.98. This card was not $9.98 a few weeks ago. This card was not even close to $9.98 a few weeks ago. The prices of these royalty are going up drastically. Same with the series coins, same with some of the legendaries and grails. There's a lot of value in these now because they have a purpose beyond the coolness of the NFT and so forth and the long-term stored value, whatever you want. I mean, there's a lot of arguments to be made. I'm an NFT collector. So, hey, Kenneth. So you can see like this one's $9.98. This baby Freddy is $4.97. This Megazord is $4. $4.39 for Freddy with Doc or as Doc with helmet. $3.58. You can just kind of go through. Some of them are worth more, some of them are worth less, but I don't see anything over or under $3 really. $3 to $4 on average, and some of them even higher. Like this Freddy is Reptar. No. Freddy is with a Letterman jacket from HB is at $4.96. So you can see where the value of these kind of go up. But here's the other thing that's cool. If I go back to this original one and I scroll over here, right here where it says scarcity, I can click on scarcity and it'll tell you that 96% are available. That means 4% of the total number that were in supply have now been burned. 4% are gone, and that makes this obviously more rare. I mean, not significantly, but enough to drive some value up again, because there's some value in the Droppp arcade, but also just the fewer number in existence. It's going to drive the price up. So 96% available. If I go over to baby Freddy, there's 98 on Megazord, 97. So you can kind of correlate the price with the scarcity on a lot of stuff. Now, if we go down to, say, series coins, You'll see like this series coin is 98 cents, $1.07, 243, 96 cents. All these royalty coins are now around $1. You know, the series coins, not royalty coins, but series coins. And you can check the scarcity on those as well, because those seem to be getting burned at the fastest rate, I think, in this whole arcade at the moment. They're worth 200 a piece. It's good points. And a lot of people have a lot of duplicates, and a lot of people were buying up those series coins when they were a penny. And so it's kind of cool to see these go up in value to that dollar range. You can see I have 349 of them. If I sold them all at $1, I'd be totally happy. But I could also turn them in and go for this and go for that Freddy. Anyway, my collection the day before arcade was 52 USDC, and now today it's 76. It's definitely making the cards more valuable. Exactly. That's a good point. Let me pull that up on mine because I know that's true. And let me uncheck royalty or series. And so my collection estimated value has gone up by about $500. Yeah. Or maybe more than that, because I think it was 2,700, somewhere around 2,700 at the time. So, you know, $600-700, that's sizable and pretty exciting. So I have a combination of stuff that is listed for sale. Here I've got some series coins. I've got grails. You can see over on my page, I got a number of royalty cards also for sale. And I just put all that out there to see what the market has, what they, who's buying what. Put some stuff, since I have enough of it, to sell some and help some other people climb that leaderboard. But I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to convert some stuff today. So let me get back over here where I can see what's going on and remove this. We're going to do some things today to try to get back up above that 333 mark, because I have an idea. And you guys will have to tell me if I've lost my mind or if you think this is a good idea. As part of this series, what is going to be the most painful? Who is going to suffer the most in this whole thing at the end of 82 days and 7 hours and whatever? Comment in the chat. Who's going to be the most disappointed? Excuse me. Any thoughts? I'll tell you, but feel free to chat it in there or over here, wherever it is, down there. Chat it in. Yeah, Mitchie, you're absolutely correct. Anyone that ended up under 333, specifically the person that finishes in 334th place. So wouldn't it be fun as part of this series if I could pull this off? If I can get enough for a reasonable amount of NFTs, if I could get enough points to maintain that 333 mark and get that and get one of those physicals without it costing me, my whole wallet. It would be cool if I could then find a way to track down who owns that 334th wallet and gift them that Freddy, since it's not going in my collection. It would be kind of fun. It would kind of cap off the whole series. Let's throw something to the 334th place spot and see if we can capture that whole experience here together as we run this series. I think it'd be cool. I don't know if we can track down number 334. We'll know the wallet address. We'll have the Droppp Discord. We've got all the other Discords. We can probably figure out who it is and probably open up a line of communication. But if we can't, we can just auction it off and raise money for F Cancer or for American Cancer Society. So I may go ahead and compete in this and try to maintain a top 333 level just to see if we can't get that pop and either gift it to 334 or sell it and donate the proceeds to charity. That's going to be the goal. That's the plan. That's the thought. And so in order to do that, I got to start burning some NFTs. I got to get back up into this leaderboard. So let's look and see what it would take to make that happen. All right, going back over here, you will see that number 333 is at 18,468. I was at 17,824. But reasonably speaking, we probably need to be in the top 250, and maybe even more beyond that. So we're going to need around 24,074 points. So we'll just call it 25,000. 25, what do I have? 18, 25, so 8,000 more coins or something like that. So let's get 8,000 together, and I'll show you the easiest way to do this. So I go to whatever it is that I'm going to want to burn, and Milky, I do love to give back. So let's look at royalty cards. Let's look at series coins. Let's look at series coins. Now let's look at royalties first. So if I go to royalties and I click only show duplicates, it'll show all the duplicates that I have, and I can go through and pick which ones I want to burn for the cause. Now I will say that you can only burn 100 cards at a time. So if you get to a point where you've burned, if you go up to 101, it'll boot you out and you have to redo it. I think I could be wrong, but that's what it did to me yesterday on day one. So let's do a couple of those. Let's do a couple of these. Let's do one of these. If I can click in the right spot so that doesn't happen. I got 4 Freddy is Fred. I know that's painful to my heart to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here's another HB, Hanna-Barbera. Let's get rid of, I won't do the Jon Snow because Milky's watching. I don't want to cause that. I'm not going to do Bumblebee yet. I'm not going to do Scotty. Let's see. So that is 5,000 points right there. Okay, so now I can scroll down. I can unclick royalty. I can click series, still have only show duplicates on here, and I can start looking at some of these series coins that I can burn. I always burn from the bottom up because, like, if I have 5 in a row here, they go in numerical order, so I keep the lowest mint. So we'll do this one because it's, oh man, why do I keep clicking them instead of the circle? This one here, because those others are for sale. We'll get several of these, Dungeons and Dragons. Somebody can stop me when I get to 8,000. I'm at 6,800. We'll skip down. We got a lot of HR Puffin stuff. We'll get rid of about 4 or 5 of those. I did it again. Unbelievable. I'm a mess. All right, here's the 4th one. We'll do a Kellogg's, maybe 2. We're at 8,000 points now. We'll do a Bugs Bunny. We'll just do a little, pad it for a little extra insurance. Scooby-Doo. How about a Steven Universe? No, I'm not doing Flintstones, even though I have a million of those. Literally a million. And what is that one? WB, I'll do that. So now we're at 8,600 points. Let's do a couple more just to get us to that 9,000 mark, just to be safe. And how about a My Little Pony? Okay, 9,000 points. Now we click convert. It's going to ask us to confirm all of this. Apparently I had a couple of those for sale. That's fine. They'll be delisted. Convert to points. That's 9,000. Puts me in currently ranked at, let's move to it. Jump to my rank is not updated. Let's refresh. Go to my rank. And it still hasn't updated. So it did tell me, and I already forgot. So let's see. I don't know why I did that, but hopefully it'll update here momentarily. and we'll see what happens. Let's see, royalty 10, commons 3, 109. So it does say that they've converted, but it is not reflecting on the leaderboard just yet. So we'll keep checking back on this and see. It should update here pretty soon. Let's go to rank 333 again, and we'll keep refreshing. We'll see what happens. It takes a minute. It's blockchain stuff, right? Right. So we'll come back to it and look here in just a second, and hopefully we'll find something. What's up, Laney Lane? How are you? Yeah, so that should move us up into like spot 200 and I don't know, in the top 250 or above 250. So we're going to track that here over the next upcoming weeks and see if that is good enough. It's probably going to keep dragging down. Just like yesterday, it started at 93 and I ended up in 360th or whatever it was. But you know, we'll see how it goes. And if it takes a manageable amount of NFTs to burn in order to get that Freddy, I will get that Freddy and I will either gift it to the number 334 or we'll donate it or we'll sell it and donate the profits to charity. So, Laney, the answer is yes, but for those reasons that I just explained, I don't need the pop. I don't want the pop. I just think it'd be cool to be able to give back. And I know the person that's going to be most devastated is going to be the person that finishes one spot out of the 333. And so I'd like to give that pop to them if I could track them down. And if I can't, then I would like to sell it and donate the money to charity. So that's going to be the plan. Let's see if this is updated yet. We'll refresh it one more time here. Maybe we have to leave the go back to here, and then no, it still hasn't updated, and I don't know what's going on. It says I have 26,824. Where would that put me? 26,824. 26,8. That put me right here. It put me in 217th spot. So 217th spot will be, you know, a nice spot to be in on the leaderboard at this point in day 2. That's going to be right kind of middle of the pack. So it's going to be right there in the middle of the pack. So what it'll do is, you know, give me an idea if, I mean, we're only in day 2, right? So now if I kind of leave it alone, wait for the 80 days, and then come in the last week, look at it, where am I at? What am I going to need? The ones that I've burned, I'm happy with having burned because they will make the remaining ones go up in value. And as you could see, I only burned duplicates, which means the ones I have remaining will become more valuable. And so I think that it's kind of a win-win. I think it's kind of a win-win. I've really changed my thoughts on all of this between yesterday and today, only because if I'm holding 22,000 NFTs, which I am, then if it cost me 1,000 NFTs to burn to get in the top 333, I still have 21,000 NFTs. And because I burned those and everybody else has burned them, the ones that I have remaining will go up in value that much more. They won't go up in value if people don't burn them. So participating in this creates a win for the people who are competing for the pop, a win for the NFT market, people who have the NFT collections, whether they're selling them or not. And it's a win for just Funko NFTs in general, because what Droppp has done here with the Droppp Arcade is pretty cool. You know, it's rejuvenated a lot of, I mean, look here, I'm making videos again, and I wasn't sure I would do that anymore. So it's really kind of brought a breath of fresh air back into this space and gotten people excited and interested. The Discords are starting to go again. They're starting to light up. A lot of chatter, a lot of people going on in there, and it's kind of cool. So yes, big shout out to Droppp, and thank you to Droppp. Now, that does bring me to one more thing. I did want to address that yesterday I had suggested, and I've paused that live stream. You can't access it but you will again after I've made these comments and maybe make some edits to yesterday's. I did make some comments which were really kind of, for pun intended, blockheaded of me. I know how the blockchain works. I don't know why I was an idiot yesterday and said some things off the cuff about, suspicious wallets dropping all these NFTs. Why would somebody burn all this? Yada, 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 all those things. And I had suggested that maybe even one of them was some crazy wallet where everything disappears into when you send it to the wrong address. That's not how the blockchain works. When you send something to the wrong address, it goes to whatever that address is. If that address doesn't exist, it doesn't allow you to transfer it there. So to think that there's just something funneling all these NFTs into one wallet, no matter what the address is, was ridiculous of me to even think. That's not the case. I actually was in contact today with Droppp to confirm, to do a little bit of research and to figure out what the process of that was. Droppp is not involved in this in any way other than presenting the arcade. They don't have any wallets in the game. They don't have any NFTs. The only thing that Droppp has, and I know this because I've had to use it before, is when I transferred non-Funko NFTs by accident over to Droppp, I was able to contact them and they were able to send those back to me. But that's, that was a lifetime ago, it feels like, in this NFT space. And so to think that like something shady's going on where somebody's doing this, I just don't think that's the case. I think what's happening is people want to burn out all of this stuff because it gives value to the points for the leaderboard. And also maybe they don't want their wallets, or maybe they don't care about the NFTs they've collected for the physicals, or people are willing to burn half of their inventory or a large chunk of their inventory to make the remaining ones that much more valuable. That's the side that I've kind of come down on, is if I burned 3/4 of my wallet and that made the 1/4 that's left 3 times more valuable than it was when I had all of them, that's a win. That's a huge win. So always subject to change your mind, Jeremy. That is a direct quote for me. That's actually words I live by. And so, yes, thank you, Mitchie. And just premature, not an idiot. Well, that was an idiotic thing for me to say, a dumb thing for me to say. And the last thing I want to do is stir up any kind of nonsense around this, because this is truly a good thing. This is really a cool, fun activity. And all the love to Droppp for putting this on and getting it out there. This has brought a lot of life back into this space. People are going to be buying new drops because, they're going to want to collect these NFTs. People are going to be going back into the NFT space, and it's just going to be fun again. And that's kind of what I'm excited about. I'm ahead of myself all the time and asking or saying stuff, Jeremy, not a bad thing. Right. Like I told Mitchie about the plan of giving the pop to the 334th place. And she had a lot of questions about how we would make that happen. I don't have any of those answers yet. I just think it's a cool concept. Details to follow. I've got 82 days to figure it out. Laney Lane says 100% Grails royalties have awesome value now. Exactly. Even again, the series coin, if you have 390 series coin and they're $1 a piece, that's $390. Take out the fees, which are minimal. And, that's good money. USDC is easy to convert back into cash. And you can put it in a little side account, or you can just leave it in Droppp as USDC. Legendaries are solid too. They're all going up in value. If my wallet and Milky, I'm glad you pointed that out, because I didn't really pay attention to that, but we'll pay attention to that over these next couple of days. I'll write this number down. Let me share this again. We'll look at it together. So my current, I got to go up here and go here. All right. So my current wallet value is $32.54. Last a couple of days ago, it was $2,700, I think it was. So we'll keep track of that, because that's going to tell us a lot. But if that value has already gone up $600 or $700, whatever that number is, I mean, it's working. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. Now, the question is, have we burned enough to really make them more scarce? Is this a result of Series 1, the Droppp Arcade? And so everything's in high demand right now. When the Droppp Arcade Season 1 is over, will the demand diminish and then bring the values back down? Are we looking at inflated values right now? Probably on some levels, but there is going to be a Season 2. There is going to be a Season 3. And so, there'll be a lot more to get because we're going to have a ton of new drops that are going to come out, and everybody's going to be ripping packs. There'll be a flood of new stuff into the market, and we'll have the availability to go pick all that up. And then later in Series 2 and Series 3, convert those all to points and start this whole process over again. Track your value as the season unfolds for sure. Now, again, stored value is tough. It's hard to liquidate some of these at times, but not lately. I mean, I've been selling stuff here fairly consistently, and it's pretty exciting to see that. I think Season 1 will be the most lucrative as it goes with the OG sets available and new drops come out. I definitely think so, but I do think that if this goes off well, I've said all along that if this didn't go off well, that it would depreciate the market, right? If people weren't excited about it, if people weren't burning NFTs, if people weren't willing to give up what they had, if we ended up where 17,000 points was good enough to finish in the top 333, then as a goal of burning a bunch of NFTs in the excess, it would have kind of, I don't want to say failed, but it wouldn't have accomplished its goal. And if there wasn't a lot of hype and there wasn't a lot of stuff going on about it, then I definitely think it could have depreciated the value of what everybody's holding and the assets that we're holding. So thankfully, it's done exactly as they've expected and as they planned for, and it's really kind of hit the market, re-energized people in this space, and they've had a lot of progress getting a lot of this stuff burned and all that good stuff. So people are participating, people are chattering about it. People that are just under the 333 are buying stuff up in order to get back in it. It's accomplishing all its goals, and it's exciting to watch it, exciting to participate in. And that's crazy because it's been a while since it's been exciting to participate in the NFT space. So again, thank you, Droppp. But Mitchie says, I have a question. Can't figure out how to ask it. Should I ask later? No, go ahead. I think Season 1 will be the most lucrative. All right, Mitchie, what you got? Mitchie's right over here. So
if we're burning the cards, who's making money?
The burn cards become deleted from existence. So nobody makes money off of them. The only way you make money is that you convert them to points and then climb the leaderboard.
So that's how.
But let's say I had.
So who makes money off of?
Nobody makes money off the burned one. But here's how it works.
Not those burned.
If you had 10, I don't mean to, I'm not insulting your intelligence. I promise. I don't mean this. But if I had 10 pins, right? If I had 10 pins and they were all worth $1 a piece, I could sell 10 pins. If I destroyed, and they were the only 10 pins in existence, and I destroyed 7 of them, and there's only 3 left. There's just destroyed, and there's only 3 left. Those 3 now become absorbently more value. So if I burn one, it makes the one that I have remaining a little bit more valuable. That's how you make money off of it. I mean, that's who makes money off of it, because you don't make anything from burning the actual card. You make money by reducing the number in existence to make. They're not making money off of it unless you consider like they're climbing the leaderboard, they get the pop, and then they have that for their collection and yada, yada, yada. But if you burn 1,000 NFTs, you don't make the leaderboard, then you've just lost 1,000 NFTs. But the remaining NFTs that you have are worth more money. Right?
Yeah. I feel like if you don't make the leaderboard, I feel like that's it.
So, for example, I have burned, let me look here. Let me pull this back up. Well, let me tell you how it's working. So if I go to, what was I going to do? Okay, so I was going to look at converted. I have burned 100 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 24. 124 NFTs.
And how much money is that?
I don't know. I didn't check. It's $60 as of yesterday to whatever that would have been today, which is what, like another $20. So $80 worth of NFTs. My wallet value has gone up $600 to $700.
Oh yeah, we knew that. I mean,
Well, so that's where the money's made.
well, I know. I just meant like I'm leave all the other ones out. Leave every other active card out of this coin, whatever. I'm saying when you burn it, because normally you would.
It would just be like me taking this sheet of paper and burning it. It would just no longer exist. There, nobody make any money. Nobody do nothing happens. Nothing goes anywhere. No, nothing. It's just gone. But it makes this other sheet of paper that I have more valuable.
Maybe they're trying to clean up like their hard drive.
So if I burned $80 to participate, if I burned $80 and my wallet value has gone up 700, that's a win. That's the whole point. So that's a net gain of $600. So the people who don't participate will ideally make their collections more valuable, and the more people play and diminish the pool of available NFTs in that franchise. Exactly,
Milky. The value of the wallets go up. I said that. I just meant specifically on the ones that were burned.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, the answer to a specific one NFT being burned is nobody makes money. But that doesn't live in a bubble. Like that is a ripple effect that has a ripple effect on everything else. So by burning that one NFT, it sets off a whole chain reaction of other events where things become more rare, and then more value being stored. It just creates a whole nother thing. So you can't really isolate that. But to your question, good incident of I have this NFT and I burn it. Zero money is made off of that burn. Yeah, and Lainey says exactly, we've already made money in 2 days. And there's going to be a major buying rush at the end.
What would Droppp benefit from, I'm asking this legitimate, what would Droppp benefit from having all those cards burned out of existence?
Well, that's a good question. I'm sure you guys can hear, but I'm going to repeat the question because that is something people want to ask. How does this benefit Droppp doing this and having people burn all these out of the market? Right? That's the question. So the simple answer is Droppp is the site where the marketplace is that sells all of these NFTs. And Droppp takes a percentage or they take a fee for every NFT sold. So the more valuable the NFT that's sold, the more their fee would be, right? So they are motivating people to buy, sell, and trade, use that marketplace more. Now, I don't think that this is like some big money grab. They're doing a great thing by presenting this and doing this fun arcade and giving you the chance to win these things. But it does drive sales to their website, which then increases their revenue through the fees that they make off of the buy, sell, and trading. Huh?
It's probably slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the market slowed.
But I just mean, okay, so think about it this way. When you have a business and loss prevention comes in because they got to clear out old merchandise and they just throw it in the dumpster because they use it as a
Can you guys hear her?
tax write. I mean, like, it sounds really stupid. Like, if you're just throwing away if you're throwing away something in the dumpster at a business because they're out, like they're just completely wiped out of the inventory because you're not using them anymore and they're basically like they've been paid for. So we're gonna throw away this merchandise because we no longer, it does not need to be in our stock anymore. Like it's completely wiped, like out of it. And we're gonna throw it in the dumpster because we're gonna use it as a tax write-off. Okay?
Okay.
But they can't physically throw these in the dumpster as a tax write-off, so that's why I just like.
Yeah, it's not a tax write-off thing. It's about increasing number one, it's about raising excitement for NFTs again. Which then throws into more buying, more selling, more trading. There's fees associated with those things. Maybe not trading, but buying and selling. And so they make a fee off of every transaction. And so, no, That's just a transfer. I can transfer
But don't
without
they charge
fees.
you anything?
No fees to transfer. So if I go on the marketplace and I buy an NFT for $10, they take a small fee, and it is small, right? And so driving people back into the NFT space to buy and sell stimulates the market, makes more money for everybody. Everybody's got bigger collections, they make some money as well. And so it does all those things. This is really a way to get people back interested in NFTs, get people excited about the things that are coming out, give value to the cards and the series coins and the things that we've been collecting for so long that previously didn't really have a lot of value. It's given value to them and meaning to them, usage, and now because they're, so they give us in exchange return, these Funko Pops, there are 333 of them to put in our collection. So it's a win-win for everybody. We make money by our NFTs collections. They make money through their transactions. They reward us for participating with various things. And what's that?
You know what your participation trophy
I don't believe in
is?
participation trophies.
Oh, a participation gift. Okay. Should have been one of the micro minis of that version of it.
So what they are doing, that'd be funny. I don't know how that would cost a fortune in shipping, but that would be cool. Or a real life series coin, that'd be really cool too. But what they are doing is one of the things that they're doing that we know of, because there are going to be surprises along the way for people who are participating. But one of the things that they're doing are these limited, they look like the stickers that go on the pop, only they're digital, and you can use them as your icon on your Droppp wallet and use it in your account. So
it's not like real life.
It's real life. That's right here on my screen. I can see it. But no, if you can't hold it in your hand,
I'm not getting started with you on that.
Dr. Sauce, you can't hold it in your hand. No.
We literally will go.
If it looks could kill.
Give me your debit card.
Milky, I would absolutely love someone from the Droppp team to join me, and I should try to make that happen. I don't know if they can or would or whatever, but that would be phenomenal to have them on and let them answer some of these questions, because again, I'm answering them from the best of my knowledge. Their motivation and thoughts behind this whole thing could be completely different, and I don't want it. When I explain how a company makes money off of something, it's very easy for that to come across as greedy, and it's not. I don't think it is. They're rewarding us with these physicals, and they're rewarding us with this experience and with other things that are yet to even be announced. And so I think that this is just a way to stimulate the market and get people back interested in buy, selling, trading NFTs, and it's working.
Well, so
it's working.
What are they supposed to do? They sell. I don't know. You'd ban me if they got on there and they asked if you were allowed to ask questions. You wouldn't allow me.
Well, no, I mean they've taken hard questions. You should be in their Discord. They take hard questions all the time. They'd be fine with taking hard questions.
I know. I come up with it.
Yours just are random and weird. Like, well, what if an alligator was biting you on the foot while you were trying to trade this in? And you.
From the guy who changes his mind every 30 seconds.
I know.
Okay, don't start. So you're telling me that the people that put in the most, they want to buy all those Coke bottles and get those little QR codes at the top so they can get all their points. You're telling me all those people that go and they do that, and then they're going to get the whole collection up and burn it, and they're going to get something physical. But then all the ones that have nothing in their wallet anymore because they gave it all up, you're going to give them a little digital thing to put on their icon that they're no longer going to want it because
and there'll be other things, surprises that they're going to announce along the way over the next 82 days. That's what they've said. So we don't know what all is going to happen, but yes.
Give them, if they don't have anything else in their wallet.
Sweetie, if you had 5,000 points, let me be frank. If you had 5,000 points worth of NFTs in your wallet, and on day one of the Droppp Arcade, you threw them all in and burned them all and thought, that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And you didn't make it. Well, that's not the way you should have done that. It's just not the way you should have done that. But I thank you for your contribution to the burn pile.
You also don't know if that was one wallet.
No, I know. That's the thing I'm trying to convey. If I had 22,000 NFTs and I sold and I burned all of them but one. But that one that was left suddenly became worth $1 million. Then burning 21,999 was far worth the exchange, because that one would never have been that value if I hadn't done the other.
Well, yeah.
So I might have burned $3,000 worth of NFTs, but it was only to make the one that I had remaining worth 10 grand. And I'm using extreme circumstances, but that's right. The longer they've been circulated, the fewer there are in existence, the more rare they are, the more money that's worth. Did you guys see? Did you see a guy burned a one of one? Actually, there's been 2 one of ones burned so far, from what I've heard. I don't necessarily see it reflected in the leaderboard, but I have heard that 2 one of ones have been burned out of existence. To be clear, I want to hear Droppp chat with you and Mitchie. Her brain is a wonderful thing, never a stupid question. Exactly. It would be very fun to see that exchange. I might not get a word in. I might not get a word in edgewise. I might not. You have a lot of questions. I know, but you have a lot of questions, and they're good questions. I'm not attacking you. Like grandma's underwear. Just depends.
Then I got questions.
Yeah, let's go back into it and look. Because I have not seen the one of one that's burned, but let's go back to. It's still saying that I probably have to log out and log back in, and I don't want to do that right now. So let's go back up to the top and start looking through what people have burned. No, but thank you, Mitch. You be careful. So no one of one there. 2 right here. 2 one of ones have been burned by this wallet. Pop and Craze. Pop and Craze burned 2 one of ones, 2 mythics, 290 grail. Look at that. That is massive. That is massive. That has to be. Oh no, that's their inventory. I'm an idiot. They have not burned any yet. None on that wallet. So it has to be in one of these 100,000 wallets. And I'm not sure where. So converted, no. Not in the top 6. I don't see it yet. Not in the top 8. And not in the top 10. It has to be up here, but I don't know where. So we'll keep looking for a second here. 20. Okay, so go down to 20. Oh yeah, it's just 1. That's all they converted. Yeah, look at that. 100,000 points and number 20. That's crazy. Number 20. Pop and Craze buys an insane. Yeah, I'm out of NFTs. Absolutely. Well, Pop and Craze has been around forever, since day one, and it was smart and bought up everything when it was next to nothing prices, and had been stockpiling for this day. Look at, here's J Navo Toys. Most of us in this community know J Navo. So they're on top of the leaderboard. There's some other good ones in here that I'll shout out if I can find them. Let's see, where is she at? Shockette right here. So Shockette's in 75th spot. Shockette has a great Discord channel and has done some great videos and fun to watch, a lot of NFT stuff. So Shockette's been participating, and she's burned 250 series coins, put her at 50,000 points, good enough for 75th place. That's awesome. But sitting in that wallet, look at that. 2 1-on-1s right there. Probably I don't see her burning those, but I'll keep an eye on that. That'd be very interesting to see. So let's see if I can. I'm going to come back over here, go full screen, and then I'm going to refresh this. Actually, I'm going to log out and log back in and see if this updates. Sign out. I'll probably have to do the whole email confirmation. So it'll take me just a minute, but we'll get logged back in here. And see what's going on here. BK Phipps is in there too. Okay, right on. That would make sense. Let's see, 594. Maybe that's not it. 455. Okay, I'm back in. Let's go back here and see if this is going to reset it or not. Okay, so Droppp Arcade. It's not. I don't know what that's about. It says season 1 score 26,000, but it's not updating on the leaderboard. Maybe the leaderboard doesn't update in real time. I don't know. That's a question I'll have to ask. So that's very interesting. Yesterday it was doing it basically in real time. There was no problem. You'd burn something and it would reflect right away. I meant to tell you guys, I set up a hotline. So if you guys need to call, feel free to, it's 1-800-4LSAPC, which isn't enough numbers. This is my old school phone with my, found it at a antique shop. Random shit you find out in the wild. I bought the typewriter first and then I had to get the phone. So yeah, a lot of great people in that leaderboard. A lot of people I've been friends with, or at least known acquaintances with throughout all the time in the NFT space, and all the different extension Dr. Crypto, all the people that I've met in the Discords and so forth. It's a great community. It's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of hardcore collectors and a lot of people that just are in it for the, like I don't want to call him out, but Brian, but I'm going to. Brian from I Want This Stuff. He was a physical collector. The NFTs, the cards didn't matter. So, this is kind of a cool way to bring the cards back into, back into play. So give them some usage. Probably stopped updating because you keep clicking. Well, that could be. I'm fairly impatient. So let's check it one more time. Refresh again. 852,145 NFTs have been burned. 1,866 active players in the season so far. 82 days, 7 hours, 6 minutes, and 57 seconds remain on the clock. So pretty cool. Looking forward to Luau's thoughts as well. I talk to Luau regularly to kind of update on this whole thing. I know that we have great conversations about it. TFTV, Fish Sticks. So we also talk regularly about this. And so it'd be great to get him on a live one of these days. I'd love to do, maybe a weekend live where we have more time and be able to hang out and really deep dive into it and get a collective group of people and their thoughts and questions, and then get as many people in here as we can to get some questions answered. And I would extend the invite out to the guys at Droppp as well. If they ever want to come on here, it would be awesome to be able to have you on and ask some questions and stir up even more interest. So yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen. I'm curious how all of the season 1 burning will impact season 2. Well, it is an interesting thought, because while initially I thought it would affect it dramatically, the reality is that there were fewer drops in the beginning. Now it's been going on longer, but there were fewer drops in the beginning. They got more regular towards the end. And so everything that's still in the redemption period that's not eligible this time, and anything that drops and goes through redemption between now and season 2, that will all be back in play. So that's a whole new flood of NFTs from the newer sets that'll be back into the market and able to play in season 2. So it'll make some of the older stuff more valuable, but it'll make a lot of the newer stuff eligible to participate in season 2. And then the same would apply to season 3 down the road. So I think there'll still be plenty of cards, plenty of NFTs in the space to continue to participate. And frankly, if you get season one, if you're in the top 333 of season one and you get that, you're going to want to participate in 2 and 3 and try to get that set. I would think you'd want to play all along the way and get all 3. It must be updating because you dropped 2 spots since I started watching. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Good call, Jeremy. I'm guessing, let's see, I'm guessing they have a plan to do more drops in the next 24 months to be eligible for season 3. Yeah, I mean, they've already got drops announced, and they just had one Tuesday. So there's definitely more drops coming. So they'll continue to do that. Hopefully there'll be some new IPs, but if there's not, we'll get some season 2s or series 2, series 3 of various other ones. You always have the holiday stuff like Halloween or horror, or horror around Halloween, Valentine stuff, the April Fool's stuff. You'll get a lot of stuff like that as well. I would love to see the what am I trying to say? The bonus NFTs to kind of come back into play again. I'd like to see more bonus drops where if you hold certain cards, you get these Freddies just randomly. I'd like to see that. I'd also like to see maybe more value in those. I mean, those are trading in at commons, and those are fairly limited and rare. So I would like to see those maybe in that 50-point range or 100 or maybe a series coin 200 range for those bonus NFTs. I mean, I've got some of those blacklight ones from Fun Days that are lowest listed $99, like $100 a piece, and it would be crazy for me to burn those because they would redeem 8 points. So there's no motivation to burn any of the bonus NFTs at this point, I don't think, because they're only 8 points each. I mean, there's value in it. I have 14,000 commons. There's value in 8 points per card, but do we expect a gap between seasons, or will they run concurrent for 80 days? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. My guess is there'll be a little bit of downtime to let collections settle and give people a chance to go back to the market and buy everything up, give them, a 60-day notice or whatever to say, hey, season 2 is going to start 2 months from now or 3 months from now. And then people will go and start buying up all the stuff that they can buy up so that when they drop it and they announce it, people can flood the market with conversions to points right away. So, I had to put this guy up here for the sake of what we're talking about. This is the reward. This is what everybody's after. And I just happened to get mine early. So I hope everybody enjoys that. I put them in a hard stack already. And I already got mine. So good luck to the rest of you. Yeah, I did. I drew that. I did that in about 10 minutes right before the stream started. So do Funko have any stake in this arcade stuff, or is it only Droppp? Yeah, that's another good question. I mean, Funko has the IP. I could get this wrong. I'm going to speak from what I think is right, but I don't know. I think Funko holds the IP, and so they create the NFTs. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not even going to speculate. I think that yes, Funko, because they're sold. I don't know. They're sold through Droppp, so I don't know. Do we know if they'll use some point system for next season? Oh, the same point system? We don't. They haven't announced that. So you would think, but it just dawned on me as I was talking about the bonus stuff, is like, what if they flipped it on its head and suddenly commons are worth 100 points each and grails were worth less? Like, because we've just gone through and burned all of the commons. And now that makes them, there are fewer of those out there, although we'd have to burn 1,000,000 times more. But that would be interesting if they flipped it on its head and were like, okay, now royalty cards that were worth 200, they're only going to be worth 8 points this time. I think they'll probably be worth the same. And I would stay on the series coin bandwagon. Series coins, and what else did I find? Not royalties. They're getting priced out. Not priced out, but more they're more expensive. Let's see. Series coins, and yeah, that's really it. I mean, legendaries are still selling at a little over $1, $2. So you can pick up a lot of points at 250 each in the legendaries, but they are more expensive than the series coin. And don't forget that, there's still a lot of stuff over on Atomic Hub. Wax is a pain in the butt, and I don't like to go over there. I would much rather play in the Droppp marketplace, but there is still stuff out there. The prices reflect the same over there as they do here. I had pulled it up originally. I was going to show you guys on Atomic Hub, but ultimately, even though the difference between Atomic Hub and Droppp is the wax and the USD, it's also that you can sell stuff for like a penny instead of the floors at 5 cents on Droppp. I would still rather pay 5 cents of a USDC on Droppp than I would a penny in wax. That's just hard to deal with. So you can go shop over on Atomic Hub if you have the wax. So keep that in mind. But the prices are the same. If they're $1 over on Droppp, they're $1 over on Atomic Hub as far as what I'm seeing. So there's that. Yeah, legendaries are good too. Best value right now. Let's see, those ones that were surprise ones. Yes, those bonus NFTs that have come along the way count as commons for 8 points. So that's a little bit disappointing. I'd like to see those have more value. And maybe they will in season 2 or something like that. I don't know. Or series 2. And agreed, wax was good for a while. Wax was great for a while because that's all we had. So, I mean, Atomic Hub I still play over on Atomic Hub because I still do some other things just for fun every once in a while. I spent $2.50 on a pack of Street Fighter and then spent 2 hours crafting cards out of the cards that I got because they have a whole crafting system over there. And it was fun, but then when it was over, I was ready for it to be over, and I won't do that again for 6 months. But they still have Hot Wheels over there. They still have Street Fighter. They still have a number of other series that's just fun and some cool stuff that maybe doesn't have a lot of value, but still has kind of neat, fun to own collection stuff. Some of my collection isn't about value. It's just about, oh, that's cool. I like that. I'm going to get that. Well, like a Bigfoot sticker. It's like it's never going to sell for more than a penny. But I didn't pay any more than a penny for it. So yeah, it served its purpose. It did its time. It was a good thing, but it was so painful. I mean, I remember running that wax service where I had to buy buy wax and then transfer it to other people by backing an NFT, and then you have to burn the NFT for the money to go in here. It just, that whole thing was a mess. No, Mitchie, absolutely not. She said, there's new wicker chairs in the trash at the neighbors. Can I have them? No, we don't want them. Thank you, though, Mitchie. Good looking out. I probably wasn't supposed to say that on here, but whatever. We need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. Yeah, let's not dumpster dive in our neighbors' trash cans, and we're going to be fine. Well, it'll be all right. I know it's free. I get it. But we have 2 white rocking chairs that are just fine as long as you're looking at them from a distance, like the street. Just don't try to sit in them, which we only do once a year at Halloween. So it's fine. Arcade could really be a big thing in the future. In its infancy, it looks promising. I hope they do series specific arcade champions in the future, or a max token head leaderboard. I think that this is a launching pad for a lot of things. Like, Droppp can go a million ways with this, and it'll be very exciting to see what they do. because yes, they could do it specific to sets. They could do it with different, rewards. They could do it for various other things. It is definitely a launching board, I think, a springboard into more activities and more things like this. And the way they pulled this off this time says that they can handle it. They can do it. So it'll be exciting to see what happens. Did you see the group chat post? Don't think so, but I will look right now. And then I'll probably read it on air. First look at April Fool's NFT pop packs, most likely redeemables for the series. Very cool. Look at that Max Token Head April Fool's box with the Band-Aid on it. I can't show you this picture because the camera won't pick it up. But that is on Disc Trackers. Yeah. No, that is not on Disc Trackers. I don't know where it came from. Maybe Original Funko or wherever it came from. New announcement of April Fool's. Although it could just be an April Fool's joke. We don't know. That'd be cool if it's real. Let's look. Let's go over here to Droppp again. See what's going on. See if I've dropped any points. 362. I have dropped 5 spots, despite my number not having changed after burning a lot more. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, what was I coming over here to look at? I don't even remember if there was an announcement. So let's go to Droppp. No, still showing DC Teen Titans. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that because that would be exciting. All right, see, this would be a good time to ask Droppp a question. I have converted more into points. It's not reflecting on the leaderboard, but other people's must be because they're climbing the ladder while I'm getting pushed down. So 26,824 is what I should have. And it's still reflecting that I have 17,824. Very, very interesting. Yeah, April Fool's. And you're right, it is not a Max Token Head pop. People are judging us. Good gracious. That's not a Max Token Head pop. No thanks. It kind of is, but yes, I agree with you. It's not. Would be cool if that was real. And I don't know if it is or not because they've done an April Fool's. So why wouldn't it be? Playing with your emotions. There are Max Token Head pops out there. There was the one where he was holding Max Token Head. But it's not a Max Token Head pop. So yeah, playing with your emotions. I need a strong comeback from Max Token Head. I want to see Max back in existence on a regular basis. Let's go back here, so much so that I will show you my collection of Max Token Heads. Max Token Head. Here they are in all their glory. 677 of them. All the Max Token Heads. I believe, now I could be wrong, mint low to high. Did it grow back to the top? No, it did not. Okay. I believe I have a mint number 1 of Max Token Head from the Iron Maiden season. It's a common, no less, but yes, there is a mint number 1, mint number 3, 4, 6. So there's a few of those, but that's cool. All right, we'll get back off of that here. What have I done? Get on that. Iron Maiden set was pretty freaking cool. I did like that set, and we go through those because that's really a lot of fun to look back on too and see what we've actually been through, right? So everything started right here with TMNT Series 1, the Turtles, and then we rolled into Big Boy. Actually, I think Fantastic Plastic would have been on here somewhere, but I don't see it. So Fantastic Plastic was in there first. Maybe no redeemables, first or second. Big Boy was cool, but this was back in the day when a series token came in every single pack. So no matter how many packs you had, you got one. Yeah, the ones where he's surfing in the past, those were from the bonus drops. Iron Maiden was that third set, and it just hit hard. The Halloween series was massive, right? That had really cool redeemables in it, and really these grails on TMNT, Halloween, even Iron Maiden. The grail on Big Boy did okay, did well, but the legendaries were a little bit. But then you had Star Trek. Bob Ross was one that had a little controversy behind it, so that was cool to experience that. Retro Comics is where I came in, and I came in hot, right? I have so many. I think I had 400 redeemables of each of the. It was nuts. That was just dumb, but it was a great time to come in with Popeye and Flash Gordon and all that stuff. Nickelodeon was a good set. A lot of people wanted. Transformers was a huge hit. And then Scooby-Doo. We're talking heavy hitters in these early days. Rolled into DC, which just upset me because there was no Wonder Woman redemption. And then we kind of went, down the rabbit hole. So then we got Kellogg's, which was hot for the time because of ad icons. And that was kind of neat. Would have been fun to see a Cereal Monsters or something like that. Maybe less specific to the Kellogg's brand and more just cereal monsters or cereal mascots or whatever. My Little Pony was the first one that dropped, and everybody was like, huh? What? My Little Pony? And then it sold out quickly. So that was kind of fun to watch that happen. Those were the crazy days. Facts. What's up, Schaefer? And then Hanna-Barbera was the one I just absolutely went over the moon for. I was super excited because it was Hanna-Barbera, and then found out that the Flintstones weren't in it, and I was highly disappointed. But that's okay because it came back later to us. Jay and Silent Bob was a fun kind of ridiculous drop because of Jay with no pants and the legendary on that, but it did well as also. And then you just see the line. I mean, Power Rangers did great. Avatar did phenomenal for, people love their anime. DC Series 2 is that our first Series 2? Let's see. I think that was our first Series 2. Yeah, that was our first Series 2 was DC and had a lot of the same kind of flair to it, but never thought that day would come with the Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Facts, I agree, but it did come. All right, so then what we got here? Looney Tunes was a cool fan favorite of mine. Game of Thrones then came out. I know that was huge in our community with Milky's group. And then Halloween Series 2 was a hit, followed by my favorite, maybe to date, the horror line. I think the horror line is where they introduced the first NFT with audio, right? I'm pretty sure that was horror that had the first one with audio in it. The Matrix came out. I wondered if that would be kind of hit or miss, but that did really, really well. Drop monsters were super cool and fun to do. I still have them as my icon up here. And Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Retro Toys was, I want to say, about where things kind of took a turn, where I don't know if they were selling out as fast. Things started to slow down a little bit. They started coming out with some weird lines like HR Puffin stuff or Sid and Marty Krofft. And then you'll see some series that are coming up that just became kind of more niche or less popular mainstream stuff that really worked well within a certain group, but not overly Then Harry Potter after I quit. Yeah, then Harry Potter after you quit collecting. Exactly. Yeah, that's when it would drop, right? Um, was that the animation first set? Animation first set. Um, I think I'd have to go back and look at when the animation started because I think in some of the early ones the background moved, right? But the I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look at some of those. Teen Titans Go, I don't think did very well, and the resale value went down on the redeemables on that. Nickelodeon was another good line. House of the Dragon again was kind of that specific market to that fan base. Dungeons and Dragons was an interesting one nobody expected, and then Hanna Barbera Series 2 was just an utter mistake in my opinion. It was pretty rough, and I was disappointed. So many Hanna-Barbera characters you could do, and they did what they did. But whatever. April Fool's was awesome because nobody knew if it was real or not. That one came out and had some really cool redemptions, and so that was a big hit. The Flintstones was obviously my favorite from the cartoon series, but I don't know that it did. I think it sold out, but I don't know that it was like huge. Dark Knight was a big sellout. Anytime Adventure, I think, was a sellout as well, but I don't know anything about that one, so I avoided that. It was a great one, but the legendaries and Grail and all that didn't hold a lot of value, only because we already have 750 Pennywises out in the market, and they made that the Grail. So very interesting. Stranger Things was long awaited for. Jurassic Park was long awaited for. Steven Universe, and then the Power Rangers Series 2 coming out as the based on the movie, I thought was a little bit of a miss, but I'm not sure what else they would have done. Steven Universe, I don't know anything about, so that was an interesting one. And then this whole crossover thing with Daffy Duck as Pennywise and the WB 100th anniversary was just kind of weird. Then we get into Back to the Future was a big one. A lot of long awaited. People wanted this one for a long time. Funkoween was a great one. I think people really wanted that Halloween drop, but we got this instead. So that was kind of fun and interesting. Then Powerpuff Girls was kind of a left fielder. We weren't expecting it, but glad we got it and kind of a cool thing. I thought maybe they would do a broader like Dexter and Johnny and Powerpuff Girls and all those guys together, but they just went all in on Powerpuff Girls. So good for them. That was cool. Mickey and Friends, I think, was the first Disney drop. I know it was the first Disney drop, as we've just gone through. Mickey and Friends was the first Disney drop and also the first drop exclusive. So that was kind of cool to see that go on that way. Identifying also that Disney was going to be an exclusive line to drop. So it was fun to see Drop get in the game with their own exclusives on that. Squid Game, I mean, I don't know why the Squid Game pops don't sell very well, just the general pops. So I wasn't surprised that the NFTs didn't do huge things. Harry Potter, obviously, big fan favorite. People loved it. Although people, I do remember, questioned the royalties or the royalty and the legendaries and the Grail on that quite a bit. There's a lot of debate on whether those were the right ones or not. I thought they were cool. A lot of people did. A lot of people didn't. So whatever. Fantastic Plastic Series 2 was an interesting one. I don't know that it was a big hitter. Space Jam, I don't remember anything about. I didn't participate in that one. That was, I mean, this is when we first got into where I stopped participating. Transformers 2 was awesome. Star Trek The Next Generation was, I don't know how well that one did. Star Wars was finally long awaited for. Got our Star Wars drop. That was exciting. That was also a drop exclusive. So it was kind of fun to see that. And April Fool's, then Series 2 came out. Back to My Little Pony, dropped to Season 2, or Series 2. So that was kind of cool. Then we had, let me catch up here. Jurassic Grail, big money. Yeah, Jurassic Grail was big money. That Gold Optimus Prime was big money. Obviously, the Leonardo was big money. There's some big money Grails out there from that Grail line. So My Little Pony was another left fielder, but they had already done Series 1, so you would have expected them to come out with a Series 2. Horror Series 2 was cool. I liked the royalty, this right here. I also liked the legendaries. I thought that was pretty good drop, but you had to be kind of a horror fan to really get into it. This Funko presents Funime and cosplay. That was the first. That's where they introduced the Mythic, and so that was the first one I believe that they sold that Mythic pack with a 30 in it, 30 NFTs in it, and you got that Mythic redemption. Pretty cool, but I didn't play in that one because I don't really know anything about anime or Funime or whatever they were calling it. Scooby-Doo Series 2, I mean, who doesn't love Scooby-Doo, right? So I think that did well, but there's a lot of things I'd like to see them do with that Scooby-Doo franchise. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward what they do. Batman 85th, I don't think that went over great, but I don't think it was bad. But I don't know. I don't really remember. Another Droppp exclusive in the Disney Afternoon, Funko Pop or Funko Digital Pop. So Disney Afternoon, I don't know anything about that, so I missed that. Passed on it. Daria, never watched it. No interest. No idea how it did. I know it didn't sell out, but I don't know what they burned. We could go through that some other time. Universal Monsters, I was all kinds of excited about. Love the Universal Monsters. But at that point in time, I had bounced from the NFT community. I mean, I was not buying into NFTs anymore. And so I think I did end up getting a couple of packs, but that's when I'd go back and do over again if I could. Rick and Morty, again with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Cartoon Network, that was a fun one. We got to be getting close right here. This is the end of 2024. So we got Alien come out, G.I. Joe, Stranger Things, Series 2 with another 11 pop. Funkoween, again, had the Mythic in it. Beetlejuice, Batman, 85th. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I thought that one was a very weird one. Festival of Fun was fun for the Christmas season. And then you get up to the top. So then we went to Adventure Time Series 2, Freddy's Dark Valentine, which I thought was a cool little drop for Valentine's Day. And then Toy Story was a big hit, drop exclusive, sellout, I do believe. And then Avatar was a quick sellout as well. So pretty cool, pretty fun. And let's check the arcade now. Let's go back to the leaderboard, see if I've moved anywhere. No, I am still 367 despite a season score and burning 26,000 points. I've still managed to drop further on that leaderboard. So I don't know what's going on. This is not reflecting the points from what I burned today on the live stream. So whatever, we'll figure it out. At the end of each Droppp Arcade season, the top 303 users will receive a redemption token that can be redeemed for that season's drop. Yes. Thank you, Mitchie. 33 users will also receive 2 drop stickers, one for being in the top 333 and one for participation. The top 3 winners will receive the above prizes and the drop sticker for either first, second, or third place. All Droppp Arcade participants for the season will receive a drop sticker just for their participation as a participation trophy. So yeah, top 3. There's a whole. If I didn't show you that, let's do that real quick. Because that's kind of cool. If we go into this, go over here to arcade and scroll in. I kind of skip over it a lot, but it's in here. View all prizes. It's right here. Season 1 stickers. So if you rank number 1, you get this one. It'll have your name on it. And season 1, rank number 1. You finish in second, you get second. You finish in third, you get third. If you place in the top 333, you get this. And everybody who participated gets this. So I do like that. That is cool. And keep in mind that these 3 will forever be one of ones, right? There will not be another one like it. So I don't know with your name on it if it would be then therefore valuable in any way, but there it is. I would just think that would be pretty freaking cool to have. So with this number 2 and number 3, any one of these would be pretty awesome. I definitely would love to get this one, but I'm already going to get this one because I participated. So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, Mitchie's dropping in the facts. What happens if 2 or more people are tied for a position? If multiple people achieve the same rank, the player who reached it first will hold that position on the leaderboard. That is very, very true. And you are absolutely reading the FAQ page. And I thank you for that and sharing. Yeah, there's a lot of questions that can be answered on that frequently asked questions. It really only comes down to that top 333. If you're tied, if 333 and 334 are tied, then it goes to whoever got to 333 first. And that's where we're at with that. So any questions you guys have that I can answer that, or I can fake like I know the answer because I don't know all the answers. But any questions that I can maybe even ask or look into before we do the next live stream so that I can bring you some new exciting information. And then I will follow up with you after I reach out to Droppp and figure out why that's not reflecting with the cards that I burned and the points that I got. Not sure why that's not working. So I've learned a lot today. Thank you, Jeremy Mitchie. Thank you, Milky. Appreciate you being here and hanging with us. So again, I would like to do these soon where we have some guests on and we can all collectively talk about it as well. So if anybody wants to participate, then reach out to me. You can either send an email to let's start a pop collection at gmail.com. You can message down here in the comments below on this video. If you're watching it afterwards, just leave a comment on the video. If you want to get on one of these lives and share your thoughts and experiences with this, I would love to have you and love to talk shop and all things NFTs. So that would be a lot of fun. So let's do that. And Mitchie, I'm always full of facts and useless information. Anything you need to know about random odd topics, she's a hell of a researcher. Will be a topic tomorrow night for Horsemen, I'm sure. Everyone is welcome. Very cool. Very cool. I'm sure that this will get addressed. Well, we all are loaded with useless information, Mitchie. Takes everything personal. Come on, Mitchie. Yes, it's been so much fun doing this series, and thank you, Lainey. I appreciate that. You know, if anything, this Droppp, love it, hate it, whatever you want to do with it. It's brought a lot of excitement back to this NFT space and this NFT community. And so it definitely stirred something up in me that made me want to get back into doing these videos and at least following the progress of this. So being able to do that has been awesome. And I can't wait to continue down this path. I think I'll probably live stream 1 or 2 nights a week moving forward, and just kind of update on the progress. It won't be every day like it was last night and tonight. It'll just be maybe once or twice a week, but we'll continue to watch the progress as we go on and see what happens. The spark is back in your eye, and I personally love that. Thank you, Milky. I appreciate that. It's pretty exciting. And Mark Schaefer wants to close up the night with the wonderful question, what are NFTs? So guys, with all of that, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's super exciting to be back, and I'm just grateful you guys are willing to spend this time with me and follow along, even if you're not, participating, or if you have no interest in it, you're still here with me, and I appreciate that. So I love each and every one of you, and stick around because there's going to be lots more to come. I'll probably post some videos. We'll probably do a number of different things, but we'll get into that as time comes. So if I missed anything, or if you guys have any questions, please reach out. Schaefer, I miss you, but man, I do. I love to do something and host you back in our home sometime. I would love for you to come out or us travel your direction, but it'd be great to see your face again. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. Until next time, we will What will we do, Mitchie? Yeah, we will. See you in the next one, guys. Have fun.